Hello, Michael Irwin here, the Leadership Whisperer, with another 5-minute leadership tip. And today, what I want to talk about is the number one reason, based on some Gartner research, as to why people leave their roles and leave their organizations. And unfortunately, it's not good news for us managers. We are the key reason that people leave. So let's have a look at some information about this research from Gartner. I'll switch over to the PowerPoint and share that with you. So, what is the number one reason that staff leave? Yes, unfortunately, it's about their immediate manager, according to last year's Gartner research. The thing here that's also very interesting is that the same top 3 reasons for people leaving appeared in the last research they did. So we're seeing a pattern here over the last several times Gartner have done this engagement research to find the same top 3 reasons that people are leaving their roles and their organizations. So what are these top 3 reasons? Well, the 3 are management quality, so the quality of management that they perceive that they're getting from their immediate manager, respect that people perceive that they're getting from their immediate team and in the workplace, and people management, to the extent that they believe that they're getting the high level of people management to help them be at their very best. So what does all of this tell us, and what does all of this mean when we look at this research, and particularly the fact that these results have been repeated over several times Gartner have done this research? Well, the first thing for us to look at is that managers are not doing as well as they think they are, okay? And we know this because this is a repeating pattern. So if the managers realized what was having an impact on people leaving and these engagement issues within the organization, then I think it's a fair assumption that we could say that there would be some more significant changes. As we see that the same 3 top reasons are repeating themselves, that means that managers are not fully aware of the impact that they're having and how that flows through to people leaving their organization and engagement within their organization. And I would say that it's probably through many organizations that they haven't fully recognized that this is an impact that managers are having and that it can be changed. It's just that people aren't doing as well as they think they are. Now, one of the key things that's coming through that I see is that managers spend a lot more time doing work and completing tasks than they do on people management. And this can be a focus from the manager themselves, feeling like they've got to take on the responsibility, or it's just easier if I do it myself, or they're the one with the most experience, or they've been through this situation before, so that they focus on making sure these tasks get done or these problems get solved, and rather than making and creating proactively some time for the people management side of leadership in their role. Now, the other element of this can be that the organizations and upper management can be putting pressure on the middle and lower managers especially to get certain things done, with the implication is that they must make sure that things get done. The other aspect that I often hear also is that people get promoted to being the manager, they haven't got enough staff, or they haven't got someone who can cover the role that they were previously in, so they're doing a combination of the management role, the more senior management role, as well as the previous role. And so they're doubling up in things that they need to do. So they're so overwhelmed, or they're focused on doing and completing those tasks and fixing those problems, and they don't find enough time for really good quality people management. Now, the other thing that we're seeing here is that managers are not getting enough feedback. And what this means is that managers were getting more feedback about specifically what's happening and the impact that they're having around the reasons why people leave and how that affects engagement, then they have the opportunity to improve and grow and develop in these areas. Right? What we see in most organizations is that people don't get enough feedback, and especially managers coming through trying to grow their career, grow themselves into the best managers and leaders that they can be. They get very little on-the-job, specific and effective feedback. Okay, so that's something that needs to improve if the managers are going to be able to grow and develop, and then change the top 3 reasons that people leave their organization. So this is all things that we need to be able to focus on to see how we can grow and develop as managers, and we can change the reasons why people leave their organizations. So the other thing is here to look at is that managers are not growing and improving quickly enough. They're repeating the same mistakes. The managers, even if they're getting some chance for an opportunity for growth and for learning and development, maybe they've had the opportunity to do some online courses or go to some short courses, 1, 2, 3 days. And some of these have got some fantastic content in it. But what we see is that it's actually very challenging for most people to take those things that they've learned and turn them into successful habits that they're doing on a consistent basis that make a change within their leadership and management approach. So they go back to the old way of doing things, which means we're going to repeat the top 3 reasons that people are leaving their organization. So what we really need to look at here is how can we help managers and leaders grow more quickly? And one of the key things that we need to think about is providing much more coaching and mentoring on an ongoing basis, rather than looking at courses or online training as the key things that help people to develop their leadership and management skills. And what happens in most organizations is there's bits of training here and there, but most of the time, managers are left to figure it out for themselves. In many cases, managers were thrown in the deep end in their first management role, and it's been them through trial and error and trying to figure it out themselves. How do they be their very best as a manager? And how do they make sure that they're doing people management really well so they have a highly engaged team? And while eventually people do work it out, it's a slow process of improvement. Coaching and mentoring and opportunities within an organization to experience different types of management and leadership and different opportunities would significantly increase the speed of that growth. So this is all coming from the Gartner research from last year. So what do we need to think about here, just as a recap? We need to think about how can we fast track the improvement and growth of managers and leaders so that they are focusing much more on people management. They have much better skills around building effective relationships with people management. They're able to manage their roles to balance out the task responsibilities as well as the people management responsibilities, and be able to then change the engagement and the motivation, and then have more people staying within their roles in their organizations, which will lead to high performing individuals and higher performing teams. And it'll also reduce the costs associated with the turnover of people leaving their roles. So if you would like to have more of a discussion about how you can fast track your leadership development or the leadership development within the people in your organizations, so you can reduce the amount of people that are leaving because of these people management and quality management challenges, then you can have a chat to me in a free leadership coaching session. And in this coaching session, I will share with you how you can get on the fast track to being the very best you can be as a leader. So here's the link at the bottom of the page. Please go to this link, book in a time, and I look forward to seeing you on that leadership coaching session. Have a great day and see you at the next leadership tip.